if you're still skeptical about the intelligence community consensus that Russia meddled in our election to help Donald Trump, consider that they now have been caught meddling in the Trump-Russia investigation. California Democrats Dianne Feinstein and Adam Schiff, Senator Feinstein and Congressman Schiff, respectively, released a letter to the CEOs of Twitter and Facebook warning of possible Russian influence on the special counsel's investigation. A website monitoring Russian-linked Twitter accounts found that their use of the hashtag release the memo is up 300,000%. Now, what is this release the memo thing? Release the memo relates to a House Intel Committee decision to give members of Congress a memo which supposedly outlines abuses of FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, by the FBI. And there are some Republicans who read the memo who said they were shocked and even outraged about the contents of the memo, even though the memo itself is still classified, so they can't actually tell us what specifically are they so outraged by, right? They're saying it's outrageous what's in the memo, but we can't tell you what's so outrageous because it's classified. And it has become a fantastic distractor from the Trump-Russia investigation. And in fact, the David Pakman show has been impacted by this as well. All over our YouTube channel, there's these poorly written troll comments, which typically are these foreign troll accounts that are looking to spread disinformation, talking about how the real issue is not the Trump-Russia investigation. It's not Jeff Sessions being questioned by Robert Mueller. It's release the memo. Twitter, right. Exact same thing. I'm getting floods of tweets saying, David, the real issue is and of our release the memo for is to justice and I am Trump, right? So like terribly written stuff, but what you can pick out from all of them, that's an imaginary example, is release the memo. If you look on Reddit, there are entire subreddits riddled with posts about release the memo. And whether or not this memo is scandalous isn't the issue. If the memo is scandalous, then we should find out about it, evaluate, and take action as necessary. But release the memo has no bearing or impact on Robert Mueller's path towards figuring out what happened, but that's how it's being used. Videos and social media posts about the Mueller investigation, and now it reaching Jeff Sessions and wanting to interview Trump, they get flooded with comments about release the memo, and I say, fine, release it, but allow the investigation to continue because they're two separate issues.
Well, it's interesting because one side says that this is a red herring and, you know, if there is something scandalous in that memo, it has no bearing on what the Mueller team finds.
That's my view.
The other side is that if they did obtain things unethically, perhaps without a warrant, then everything goes out the window. Because if it's like a police officer, you know, doesn't have a warrant and conducts a search on your house, they find drugs or something, they can't implicate you for the crime, you know?
Except if the Boston Police Department did that, and then you say a Cambridge police investigation is now tainted, we would say, well, hold on a second. The fact that the Boston police is accused of doing something doesn't mean a particular investigation by Cambridge police is now invalid. This is the Mueller investigation, and there is no evidence whatsoever that there has been anything untoward that has taken place there, despite the fact that the right likes to paint him as some kind of partisan hack. And if he is, he's a lifelong Republican. So I would ask, which party is he a hack for?
And there's also a difference between any potential criminal prosecution and political ramifications, like, say, an impeachment trial. That wouldn't be affected either.
No doubt about it. So what's going on here is that they want to create an environment where the Americans that, or Americans in general, if they could have it their way, see the FBI as the bad guys, not the good guys, and they've been doing it for some time, and the Russian troll bots are jumping on this release the memo thing bigly in order to try to continue distracting from what is, it's a very quickly advancing investigation by Robert Mueller that now has reached Trump's cabinet and is pushing its way into the Oval Office. The video you just watched was made possible by support from you. Please go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show. You can make a pledge of as little as $1 per month, and every dollar helps to support the work that we're doing, particularly in light of the YouTube ad boycott, which has been really bad.